my channel. My name is June Cheruto. If you are new here, please take some 2 seconds to subscribe. And in today's video, I want us to talk about the 50-30-20 rule of budgeting. In our last video, we introduced budgeting as a process, the types of budgets, and some key steps to better budgeting. So I want us today to look at one of the most commonly used rules that will make your budgeting process easy. And when we talk about the 50-30-20 rule of money, this is a very easy budgeting method that can help you manage your money more efficiently and sustainably. When we now have like 50-30, it means you are distributing your income to portions of 50%, 20%, and 30%. And it is a basic rule of thumb to divide your monthly or your regular income to these portions so that you find your financial growth more easy or very smooth. And I'll talk about the bigger portion first, which is the 50%. And 50% basically covers the needs. And when you talk of the needs, these are things you can't do without. Failure to have them meaning your life will be kind of complicated or you'll be undergoing some frustrations. And when I talk of needs, I'm now talking of things like rent, things like groceries, things like utilities, that is the water, electricity bills like that, the fuel or transport. Those are things that you must have in order to progress well. So always make sure that a portion of 50% of your salary has already taken care of that need. So for instance, if you're on a gross of, let's say, 50,000, which will end up with around a net of 41,000, something like that. So ensure that 50% of that, which is around 21,000, takes care of your needs, those things that you can't do without. And when we talk of 30%, we refer to wants. These are things you can do without, but they give more meaning to life, or it makes life more interesting. And when I talk of wants, we may have things like dinner, we may have things to do with maybe a ticket to a concert, maybe you're a fan of Showmax, you go there once in a while, you go for a vacation, things like that. They are upgrades that make life more interesting. So always ensure that those things that give more meaning to your life is falling under this 30%. Something else I can talk of is maybe closet shopping. You need to buy a new cloth, a new dress, something like that, a new handbag, a new watch. So it should fall under this 30% because those are the things you don't do it regularly, but they improve your life, you upgrade your life in that way. 20% should cater for saving and debt. This is now the last portion of how you should distribute your income. When I talk of saving and debt, it should now cater for things like paying off student loan, savings. Maybe you're saving for a house, for a car, for education, to go back maybe to further your studies or something like that. Another saving mode is also retirement fund. So always ensure that you've taken care of such things, because in the long run you need to be having those things so that you make progress in your life. You cannot make progress if you don't have a saving account somewhere. You cannot make progress if you are not prepared for your retirement. What will happen after your active employment life or business life? So always ensure that you take care of such things. And when you are approaching your budgeting process, always start with this 20%. When you get your money, start with this 20%, and then you now go to the other portion of 50% and 30%. That way, you'll ensure that you don't eat up your money maybe for needs or wants that was meant for savings. And that's when you'll find yourself now being more disciplined. With the time, you'll gradually find it being very, very easy to save, very easy to pay off debt and things like that. Once you are free maybe from a debt, you boost your saving, you boost your retirement, and you eventually grow. So having talked about these 50, 30, 20, what are the benefits that comes with using this rule or applying this rule? And one of them I can say is that you know where you stand financially, because you know I've been getting this amount of money, I've been distributing this way and this way, so you know where you stand financially. Another key benefit is identifying key ways or very easy ways to cut on cost, because you now know what falls in your 50%, what falls in your 30% category. So those are the portions which you can trim some fat and boost your savings. For instance, let's say you've been buying maybe concert tickets regularly, you've been going out for dinner regularly, so you trim such expenses so that you can boost your savings account. Another benefit is also reducing financial stress. Since you are now in control of your money, you know how you plan it, you know what falls here, what falls here. It reduces that anxiety that, I'm getting this amount of money and I can't do much with it. Once you take control of your money, you know where it goes, you have control of your spending. That anxiety or that stress definitely reduces. And I say one other benefit is achieving your saving goals. Because at the beginning of a certain period, let's say at the beginning of the year, you have a goal, maybe at the end of this year, I want to have saved this much so that I can do this with it. So with this kind of discipline in place, you easily achieve your goals. So one last comment on this particular rule is that this rule applies maybe when you're still earning very low amount or at the start of your career, but as you progress or when you get a boom from somewhere, let's say if you have been saving maybe in a circle, you get dividends, that is not part of your regular income. You should see where to boost that amount. Or when you grow, you should now see ways in which now these ratios change. Maybe now your needs will become 30% or even 20% based on your living. So it helps guide when you're starting off your career or when you're starting off your financial journey, and as you grow up, you now find that these ratios will even be 40%, maybe 30%, things like that. So use this as a foundation, and I'm sure with time you'll definitely grow to a better financial status. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you haven't subscribed, please take just a second or two to subscribe and share the video as well. Bye bye.